Alright, today's video is planes that I don't fly. I spent X amount of dollars on, and I find myself never choosing it and never flying it. And when I do fly them, they're just kind of disappointing. So don't judge me on the price of these, but once if you were to tally them up on your own, uh, you know, you could probably make fun of me for wasting that amount of money. But anyway, let's jump into number one. Alright, drum roll. First up, we've got the Sky Simulations DC-9. Honestly, on second review, third review, whatever it is, it's a pretty plane. It looks cool in here. Like, I feel like it looks sharper than I remember. It looks, you know, fairly well modeled, a lot more so than I remember. So, let me turn on it. But the thing about this plane is it's just kind of, it's like a lot of others on the list that I'll get into. It's fun, but I just don't have a huge itch to fly these super old school birds. Like, there's some I really like, but there's most of them I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm not gonna fly it super often, and this would be one of those. So very cool plane. It's got nice ramp appeal, but yeah, this one is $50, by the way. Let's hop into the next. Next up, we have the F-28 Fokker by Just Flight. Again, same reason with the DCs. It's really cool. I get it. I mean, it looks all right. It's just like, I like steam gauges. I like old school stuff, but it gets to a point where I'm just like, all right, I don't have time today. I don't have time to dig out the checklist I made to do it, all that stuff. So it's just a big fat pain in the tuchus sometimes. But it is a cool plane, but unless you really have, something for the F-28, I think you'll do what I do. And you get it, and you fly it for a little bit, and then it sits. And it sits, and it sits, and it sits. And, but the cabin does look really good for Just Flight. Just Flight usually does not have this level of modeling, like textures, the light cascading on there. I don't know, I kind of like it now. I'll go through an F-28 phase, but yeah, they did a great job in the cabin. Wasn't expecting that. But anyway, yeah, so this definitely applies for essentially the same reasons as the DC, but let's see what's next. Alright, for number 3, I have what I think is the worst value in flight sim history, and that is the MD series. I mean, this is like $100, over 100 when you get these variants, the 83, 82, and 88, I believe, is the add-on ones you can get. It's a cool plane, and I think they did it terribly. I mean, it's just $100 for this. Go F-word yourself, Leonardo. I'm sure it's a dude, and he's like put thousands of hours into this. And apparently the systems modeling is super great, yada yada, I understand, but $100, that's unacceptable. This better be Phoenix quality, photo finish, photorealism for $100 for a virtual plane. I mean, system modeling's great. There's not much systems to model here. It's pretty old school. I mean, obviously I couldn't do it. I'm a loser when it comes to figuring out how computers work, but $100 is just so outrageous compared to what else is out there. So this is, I'm not even going to go over the reasons why I don't fly this. It's the exact same as the other two. They all look the same. They're all tubes with straight wings. By the way, the animations on this are terrible too. The wing flex looks ridiculous. It's just, it's a bummer. It looks great. Externally, it looks pretty good till it gets in the air, and it just takes you out of it, man. $100. Go F-word yourself and S-word my D-word. Next one. Alright, this one might surprise you. This is technically a FS 2020 plane, but whatever. This is the RG182 from Keronado. And I have one gripe about it. I'm botching this takeoff roll. I have one gripe about it that I cannot get over. But if that weren't the issue, this plane would be immaculate and I'd fly it a lot because it's super cool and quirky. But let's get a gear up shot. We gotta get a gear up, folks. We get flaps up at the same time. There's something about a high wing Cessna with the gear up that just does it for me, folks. But are you ready for the thing that bothers me and makes me go absolutely bonkers? I hate the window placement. And I have this view right now because I set my head tracking in a certain way. Let me go to default view. That's ridiculous. That looks silly. And then you go, oh, let me go up one. That's perfect for the instruments. Oh, wow. And it might be that way in the real world. I think it is to some extent. Well, probably to a big extent. That's why they did it. But also I hate it. And I don't fly it because of that. Which sucks. I wish we could just... I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Because I'm sure it's realistic. But man, it bumps me out. Because that's so frustrating. I love this plane. I think it's so cool. But that's the reason I never fly it. But I can forgive it for that. Because it's an awesome plane. But there's something about it. I'm telling you, just gear up 172. And also the lights on the Keronado stuff from 2020 look like... They kind of look cool right there, but they do not work. If you're on the ground, it makes zero difference. They haven't cracked the code on that. And they have yet to do an update on their planes for 24. But they haven't forgotten to release new planes, which is annoying. So anyway, let's install this sucker. Let me get my head tracking on here. We'll do a power on install. Let me really get the yoke back. We're going to try to stall coordinated here. A little right rudder. Oh, we're dropping a wing. Just like that, we pull out. That's such a beautiful plane. I hate that it's like that, but that's the way. Alright, next one. Alright, this one might be a surprise, but this is a plane that I have purchased and I do not fly. The Phoenix. The irony of doing the Phoenix was my whole S-word crashed. And my point for why I don't fly to 24 at all is performance. So I think that's it's a chef's kiss. Perfect example. It's unflyable in 24. It is not optimized at all. 2020, I fly it all the time. I have a 3060 Ti. It does great. 24 is a nightmare, and it will not fly. And speaking of nightmare, sorry to look like a crazy person. This is my head tracking sort of setup. But anyway, so yeah, Phoenix is done. So the sim's out. I don't feel like opening it back up. Those are all the planes that I really never fly, and those are the reasons why. So, and by the way, two things I forgot to say: the MD series from Leonardo. Every time you open the sim in your little system tray, they have their little app running. Even if it takes a 0.000001 of my CPU, get off my screen. Phoenix is great. You select it, and then it opens the app to run the plane. This is always idle in the background. Get the F word out of here. I don't want to look at your stupid $100 logo. Go F yourself, Leonardo. A. And B, I forgot what B was. I got too into... oh, I was just going to say, if Phoenix made an update for a native 2024, I think all of us would happily pay for it to get different features in 24, whatever that means. You take the cones out. Great. But just for optimization, I'd pay the Phoenix price again for optimization. You know, I wouldn't like it, but I would. But $15 all day long. Here's my card. Anyway, that's the video. God bless you. Let's see if OBS can stop the recording or if it's going to crash from the Phoenix again. So we'll see.